What's up, Shredheads? I'm super excited today, guys. Today we're going to be looking at what my latest vintage Whatsy booster box pickups are, giving a bit of an update on my sealed collection, and along with that little update, we're then going to be moving over to see if vintage booster boxes are worth investing in, and if you're going to be able to make money in Pokemon by investing with vintage booster boxes. So if you're looking to make money with Pokemon and are looking for some advice on what to invest in, stick around, watch this video, because we're going to go balls deep inside of this topic.
Are you ready for shredding?
What's up, Shredheads? Welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Card Classic with the jacked, stacked, serial thriller of Pokemon card collecting, Shreddy. Super excited to bring you this video today, guys, because I am going to be showing you an update on my current Pokemon Vintage Whatsy sealed booster box collection, as well as showing you what the latest booster boxes that I've been buying are, including the boxes that are inside this package right here. So let's do a little camera change and show you guys what you've all been waiting to see, the money shot. Also, guys, just a quick note, in this video I'm not going to be comparing prices from like 6 months ago or 4 months ago to now on these boxes. However, if that is something that you're interested in and you would like to see more information on the price rises, whether it's been in 2020 or even looking at booster box prices from, you know, years gone by compared to now, August 2020, let me know down in the comments below and I'll do a separate video on that. So here we have Shreddy's current booster box collection, or at least sealed booster box collection. I do have loose booster packs and open booster boxes elsewhere, but this is all about sealed product and if I think you should be investing in it. The spoiler alert, or the TLDR version, or what would that be on YouTube? TL, too long, didn't watch. TLDW, if that's even a thing. Let me know down in the comments below if that is a thing, guys. If not, Shreddy's coined it. Let's start commenting TLDW on videos that are too long and that you didn't watch. This is my sealed booster box collection, and I'm going to talk about why I think sealed products are the best, or one of the best investments to make when it comes to investing in Pokemon. Now, what you're looking at in front of you is there's also some Yu-Gi-Oh there, and for those Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there, yes, those are first edition, both of them. You can see just their first edition. We've got some lights bouncing off this one here, but this is also first edition. And these booster boxes, some I've had for 10 years, 10 plus years actually. Some I've had, you know, just for a couple of months since I've been buying and adding booster boxes to my collection this year. So the latest booster box we've got is this right here. It is an unlimited Team Rocket booster box, and anybody who's been watching the channel for quite a while will have heard me talking about the prices that I used to be able to pick these up for, which compared to today's market is just absolutely insane. I used to buy these for £25 to £35. £30 was an average price, but I could get them for as low as £25, and I would sometimes pay up to £35 to get a booster box unlimited of these back in 2008. So this is the latest pickup, or one of the latest pickups that I've added to the collection. It goes nicely with my goal of getting one of each Wizards of the Coast booster boxes from the base set, which I already have there, all the way up until Legendary, but Shreddy isn't buying another Legendary collection. After he sold his boxes in 2013, two of them, count them two, but that's a different story for a different video. Why is sealed booster boxes a good investment? Well, you've just heard me say I used to buy these for £25 to £30. If you have a look on Facebook groups at the minute, if you have a look on eBay, you'll be selling these for on average, okay, around the £4,000 mark. Someone on Instagram recently sold one of these in, you know, it was an unlimited box, but it was mint condition. This isn't a mint condition box. Got a little crease there. It's got a little bit of, you know, a bit of a battered corner there. But somebody sold these on one of these mint on Instagram for £5,000 in the last, I would guess, the last 2.5 weeks. I used to buy these 12 years ago for £25 to £30. So put that into context. These are on average going for around the £4,000 mark at the minute. I'll let somebody else do the maths down below. And don't get me wrong, all prices of Pokemon have gone up, especially in 2020. But that's, you know, a sick return. If I kept these from back in 2008 at £25 a pop, £30 a pop, the money I'd have made on these would have been absolutely insane. So that's a good example of how the prices have rose. But remember, that's, you know, the price rises have been across everything in Pokemon. Next up, we have this beauty right here. And the thing that makes it even better is the fact that it's got that little stamp in the corner there, which is first edition. So this is the Gym Heroes first edition sealed booster box. And this goes nicely with these that I have right here. Gym Heroes set that I've got right now. You can see just there. So pretty cool to have that in my collection. I actually opened a unlimited gym challenge back in 2008. It was the first booster box I bought to open since I got back into collecting. I never bought the Gym Heroes box to open. I always preferred Gym Challenge over Gym Heroes. Gym Heroes is still a cool set. I just preferred Gym Challenge, and I really enjoyed opening that box back in the day. But this is another cool piece to have in my collection. I think around the time that the Gym series were introduced, which was after this right here, so it went Rocket, then Gym Hero, I think we kind of had a few people phasing out of Pokemon. And by the time these came out, Pokemon wasn't as popular. So from this point onwards, with boxes, they're a little bit more scarce because they weren't being printed as much, because the game just wasn't as popular. But for pure nostalgia, more people, or more of the masses, more of the majority, will remember Base, Jungle, there's a Fossil box, and then the Rocket set as well. So why are vintage sealed booster boxes such a good investment? Well, if you look at the prices of PSA cards, those have gone up, just like all Pokemon prices have gone up. But with PSA investments, and there's pros and cons of everything. With PSA cards, there is a population report out there, so you know exactly how many are on the market. However, given the popularity of box breaks and people returning to the hobby and wanting to open packs, things like this are being opened on YouTube now on what seems to be a daily basis, like boxes that are £10,000 plus, so work that out in dollars, are being opened on YouTube on what seems to be, by the bigger channels, or if you combine the channels together, if not a daily basis, definitely a weekly basis. Every time one of these is opened, there's one less in the marketplace, there's one less available. You need to open these boxes here to pull booster fresh cards to get them graded. So every time that you open a booster box, there's one less on the marketplace. But when you open 36 packs, on average, you're going to get 12 holo cards in a pack. That's 12 chances of pulling a PSA 10 holo card. So when you look at the population reports, the more of the PSA cards, as these diminish, those population reports, in theory, of PSA cards are going to increase. So there's going to be more PSA cards entering the marketplace, whereas these booster boxes are going to diminish each time one's opened. Now, there's always the argument of, oh, well, let's just, you know, what if somebody has a warehouse full of these? What if somebody decides to sell the collection? What if somebody's been hoarding, you know, these since 1999? Well, that's possible. That's completely possible. We could see an influx of booster boxes on the marketplace. But for everyone that's been hoarding booster boxes, there's even more people who have been hoarding raw cards. And just like me, I was pulling cards back in 2008, going straight into a penny sleeve and a top loader, or straight into a binder. If they've just been placed in a binder for 10 years, and fast forward to, you know, 2020, so 12 years, sorry, people could just as easily as much as someone might, release a load of these onto the market, which is unlikely, but it's possible, it's not probable, we could see an influx of raw cards that are really, really mint quality that could go and get 9s and 10s at grading. So when you pull a card out of one of these boosters, I just want to get that Neo box in there as well. When you pull a card, booster fresh, it's definitely not guaranteed to be a 10. It's more likely to be, if you assume that a 9 is the average, an 8 is you're unlucky, a 10 is that you're lucky. So let's assume that on average a 9 is the average grading of a card. That population report is going to rise. We're going to be seeing more PSA graded cards entering the marketplace, whereas in theory these boxes, the availability of these boxes is only going to go down. What happens when something goes down? Well, if the demand remains the same, it's going to be worth more money. Given the popularity of, 1, YouTubers doing box breaks, and 2, people returning to the hobby, people wanting that nostalgia fix to open their own packs, the only way you can guarantee that you are going to be getting unweighed packs is if you either buy a booster box yourself and open every single pack, or buy a booster box of a trusted seller or a reputable seller, a credible seller, somebody known in the community. So, Z&G is a guy that I would, instantly think of, who does these box breaks and sells unweighed packs. That's the only way you're going to be able to guarantee that the packs are unweighed. Whenever you see a single booster pack on eBay, assume it's light, assume that the person has weighed it, because that's what everybody seems to be doing now. They'll do a box break. If they do sell the packs individually, you'll see on eBay people are weighing packs, people put the product photos up of the booster pack on the set of scales to show that it's a heavy pack. So you always have to, me personally, I would always tread with caution and assume the wear. So assume that the packs that you're buying on eBay, especially if they're from people with very little feedback off, they're not known within the YouTube or the Instagram or the Facebook Pokemon community, I would assume it's been weighed and it's a light pack. Even if it says unweighed, assume that it's light. So if you want to relive that nostalgia, if you want to relive, what it was like opening these packs as a kid, you're going to have to either buy from a reputable seller who's doing box breaks, or buy a box yourself. That's kind of the only way to guarantee you get an unweighed pack. So that is a reason why these are worth more value. It's hard to put a price on that feeling of nostalgia or that feeling of enjoyment of opening a pack. If you look at a channel like PokeRev, who does these box breaks on a regular basis, people are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for one of his packs, and it's a gamble. It's a complete gamble if you're buying a booster pack as to whether or not you're getting a holo card. And if you do get a holo card, is it a holo card that is worth more than the value of the pack? And is it going to get that 9-10 grade? And it's, this vintage box breaks now and opening vintage product, because of the price of them, it's became, for me, a complete gamble. People love it. People enjoy it. I don't know if that's because there's been no sport on during, lockdown, and people have, wanted to channel that gambling addiction or that gambling enjoyment into Pokemon box breaks and opening booster packs. I don't know what it is, but people really enjoy opening these packs for whatever reason. If they're chasing a specific card, if they just want to relive their childhood, and that's fine. That's completely what everyone's got their own reasons. But what the point I'm trying to make is, it's hard to put a price on that nostalgic experience. So if somebody wants to pay, if somebody wants to experience that again, they're going to pay money. If they've got the money, if they've got the disposable income, they're going to pay to open these packs. So it's not just the value necessarily of the cards that are inside, it's also that enjoyment of being able to relive their childhood, have that nostalgia of opening a booster pack with the hopes of getting, a really cool card in there as well. Next up, what do we have? We have another first edition beauty, which is this minty fresh box, fossil box, which now rounds off my kind of first batch of Pokemon booster boxes. So we've now got base, we've got jungle, we've got fossil, and we've got Team Rocket. So I've got a mix of unlimited and first edition boxes here, and that's fine. I'd love every box to be first edition, but sometimes you can't afford it, sometimes you can't find one. I was lucky enough to be able to get this one here in first edition. The others, so the base, the jungle, the rocket, are all unlimited, but this one I'm super happy about because it is first edition. So that brings me on to another point. So these are both first edition. Do you buy, for investment purposes, first edition or unlimited? In all honesty, I think you're good to buy both. The reason for that is, as first edition obviously worth more money, but as first edition becomes more expensive, you then will have people who still want those cards in PSA graded, or, you know, whether it's a 10 or a 9, but can't afford the first edition. So the ones who can't afford first edition will then want to go unlimited. When the demand for unlimited starts to increase, the price is going to increase. So if you can afford it, yes, by all means, go for the first edition, because first edition is always going to be worth more money. However, unlimited cards, look at the base set, for example, with the base set PSA cards now in unlimited, they are shooting up in value because people are priced out now of being able to buy first edition. In many cases, people are priced out of being able to buy and afford first edition base set PSA 9s, PSA 10s. So the next best alternative is either the shadowless or the unlimited. And I genuinely think that we're going to see that same trend with unlimited throughout all of WotC. Every card will have a value because some people won't care about first edition, or some people will care about it but can't afford it. So then you'll see, you know, a lower price point, a lower entry point for collectors who still want the PSA cards. They'll be going for unlimited. So I think unlimited and first edition booster boxes, they're both going to go up in value, so both of them, in my opinion, are a safe investment. Let me know down in the comments below, guys. Are you a first edition collector? Are you an unlimited collector? What's your take on first edition and unlimited cards? Do you really care if something's first edition or unlimited or not? Let me know down in the comments below. We have one last booster box to finish off today's kind of pickup video, and it is probably maybe the most expensive box in my collection now. Debatable with the Yu-Gi-Oh! First Edition boxes. But here we have it. And it is a Neo Destiny Unlimited booster box. And this is something that even back in 2008, I wanted to pick up. They were hard to find back then. They were more expensive than everything else back then. And here we are 12 years on. They're still hard to find. They're still super expensive. And the point I've just been making about first edition and unlimited, every single box you're looking at here has gone up in value. This rocket box is unlimited. I've already gone over the price points of that. That rose in value being unlimited. First edition boxes have gone up. It doesn't really matter. This is a good example. This box here, you know, I'll let somebody post down in the comments below what they think it's worth. But I've got a good idea what this is worth. And if you know, you know. I don't want to say what it's worth, but people out there will know. And it is a super expensive box, even in unlimited. And it again, for me, this is proof that unlimited and first edition cards are all worth investing in. So I just want to try and get those. And we're blocking the back boxes there. But we know what we've got here. So yeah, I'm super happy about this because it's an item that I wanted way back when. And I never ever was able to, you know, not that I couldn't find one, just I didn't get around to buying one. So I'm happy that I've now got that in my collection. I'm really happy about that one. A lot of these other boxes you see here, I've owned in years gone by. But this one here, you know, it's really nice to be able to add this to my collection. And there we have today's video, guys. Everything I've spoke about today is my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want you, you know, taking my word as gospel. It's just my opinion. And I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about sealed vintage WotC boxes being one of the best investments out there that you can make. I personally think I would go as far as say it's the safest investment to make for the reasons I've just explained. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think, whether you agree with me or whether you don't agree with me. Either way, it's fine. Let me know. Post a comment down below. If you do disagree with me, that's not to say I'm wrong and you're right, or I'm right and you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you have to dislike me or anything like that. It just means that you have a difference in opinion to me, and that's fine. Difference in opinions is what sparks debate and what sparks conversation, and that's what's great about this Pokemon, hobby, this Pokemon community. It's that we can think different things, we can have different viewpoints, but we all have this love, this passion, this interest for Pokemon collecting, the games, the cards, whatever it might be. And it's our shared passion, our shared interest, and the fact that we can talk about things that makes it a great community. So let me know what you guys think, and if you do think differently to me, just let me know down in the comments below, and we'll have a chat about it, and we'll see where things go from there. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I've enjoyed, adding these to my collection. I've enjoyed this little discussion that we've had today. So if you have enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button to see more videos around this kind of stuff. That's it for today though, guys. So just remember, collecting ain't no gimmick, it's a lifestyle.